Hi, Aslam class. This is your live response video to your science lesson that we spoke about this morning. No one came up with any questions, but it was good to actually have a talk to you guys because the work that you did yesterday. Some of you, your task was to create an animal that could adapt itself and protect itself from a harsher environment. And we're talking about environments where the animal may be exposed to extreme heat or extreme coldness, or it could be that they live in the water and they're to protect themselves from the harsh tides and things like that. It could be that they live near a volcano, and what adaptations would your animal have to make sure that it's protected when it lives near a volcano? So the majority of you guys did a very good job of that, and it was really interesting to see your adaptations. Some of you went, let your imaginations go a little bit too wild. You kind of missed the point of what adaptations are. So this video, I'm just going to quickly go over what adaptations are for animals, because some of you thought putting your sort of animal, like one that I can remember off the top of my head was a shark, and you put it into a glass container. So how is that on earth is that shark going to swim? You put it in a glass container to protect it from the cold. You then attach the laser to the top of it, and these are not adaptations for an animal. Your task was to create an animal that has natural adaptations for its natural environment. So when we talk about adaptations, we talk about an animal that has adapted to its environment over the course of hundreds of years. Take human beings, for instance. Many, many years ago, human beings would have been covered from head to toe in hair. And that was because back then, many years ago, humans didn't have clothes. They walked around without wearing clothes. And to protect them from our ancestors from cold weather, extreme cold weather, which they would have had back then, they had lots of hair on their bodies to keep their bodies warm. All right. As the years have gone on and humans decided to then wear clothes, and that they introduced putting clothes on, the need for hair wasn't there anymore. So the human body adapted, and as generations and generations and generations went on, humans began to get less hair, and began to get less hair, which is why today, I know looking at me, I've got a beard and I've got some hair on my head, but I do have hair on my arms, I have hair on my legs. That's why we still get that, all right? We still get hair on our bodies, but it's not as thick and it's not as coarse as it would have been 10,000 years ago. And that's because our bodies have adapted. We wear clothes, okay? So we don't have hair all over our bodies. Some of us are hairier than others, and that's just the way it is. But we don't have hair all over our faces, round here, all round our neck, or we kind of adapted, similar to other animals that may live in the ocean. They would have adapted, and some have got gills. They have webbed feet to help them swim. I mean, even there are arguments about that we have webbed fingers. I mean, if you look at your fingers, you can see a tiny bit of webbing in there. These are adaptations that the animals go through over time, and that's what I was kind of looking for in your work. So if you decided that you were going to create an animal to protect it from, let's say, cold weather, I was expecting to see lots of feathers or lots of fur or lots of hair on your creature. If your creature was going to be protected from, let's say, volcanoes and things like that, maybe your animal would have had a very hard exoskeleton or a hard shell on its body to protect itself from falling rocks. So that's what I was kind of looking for. Most of you did a good job on that, but there were some of you sort of putting lasers and propellers and things like that on your animals, which you kind of missed the idea of what we were looking for. We were looking for adaptations of animals, and that's what adaptations are. It's where animals have kind of had to change their behaviors, or they change their characteristics to adapt to the environment around So hopefully that makes it a little bit more clearer. In today's science lesson, Miss Gulzer is taking the lesson, and she's going to be doing a science experiment with you today, all about global warming. So that'll be an interesting one to watch, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.